This video will explore the social, economic, and political developments and challenges in Kenya since independence. The content covers political objectives, including multi-party democracy, economic developments such as land policies and industry, and social developments and challenges in education, health, culture, and sports. Kenya gained independence in 1963, immediately facing challenges like imbalance in land ownership, uniting different communities, and a fast-growing population. Key political developments include Kenya's independence in 1963, the emergence of differences between KANU and KEDU, and the subsequent formation of a de facto one-party state under KANU until 1966. This period also saw assassinations and resignations leading to increased political tension. Political tension escalated with an incident involving Kenyatta in Kisumu in 1969. The KPU was banned, and the assassination of J.M. Kariuki in 1975 sparked riots. A Change the Constitution campaign aimed to block Moi from ascending to power. The mid-1970s saw arrests and detentions of critics like Martin Shikuku, Saroni, Chelagat Mutai, and George Aniona for various reasons. In 1978, President Kenyatta died, and a smooth transition of power prevailed. In 1978, Moi was inaugurated as the second president and ordered the release of political prisoners. However, in 1980, Moi banned all tribal organizations, including Gima and the Luo Union, among others. In 1982, KANU legalized itself as the only political party through a constitutional amendment, making Kenya a de jure one-party state. An unsuccessful coup attempt occurred in August 1982, and the Moi regime became ruthless in cracking down on dissent. In 1988, KANU introduced queue voting, or mlolongo, causing a political crisis and public outcry. Many government critics were arrested. However, in 1990, KANU agreed to discard the queue voting method. The murder of Dr. Robert John Uko in 1990 led to widespread riots. In 1991, the constitutional amendment making Kenya a one-party state was repealed, reintroducing multi-party politics. This was followed by ethnic clashes and the first multi-party elections in 1992, won by KANU. In 1997, an inter-party parliamentary group was formed to level the political field. In 2002, the third multi-party elections were held, where NARC, led by Mwai Kibaki, defeated KANU's candidate, Uhuru Kenyatta. Moi peacefully handed power to Kibaki. In 2003, President Kibaki disowned the pre-election MOU, affecting the constitution-making process. The severely contested 2007-2008 presidential elections led to widespread violence and displacement. Mediation efforts led to the formation of a coalition government. The 2005 draft constitution was defeated in a referendum, leading to the birth of ODM. In 2008, the Waki Commission recommended the prosecution of post-election violence perpetrators. In 2010, the new constitution was promulgated. In 2011, the Ocampo Six received summonses to appear at the ICC. The 6 individuals summoned by the ICC in 2011, known as the Ocampo Six, included Uhuru Kenyatta, William Ruto, Henry Koskei, John Arap Sang, Muhammad Ali, and Francis Muthara. Factors leading to multi-party democracy included rampant corruption, the rigging of elections, and KANU's failure to accommodate opposing views. External influences, such as political changes in the Soviet Union and Western aid conditions, also played a significant role. Activists like the clergy, politicians, lawyers, and journalists successfully pressured the government to legalize multi-partyism. Initially, KANU resisted and refused licenses for multi-party activist meetings. The Saitoti Review Committee of 1990 recommended reforms within KANU. By December 1991, KANU accepted to legalize other national political parties, leading to the repeal of Section 2A and Kenya's return to multi-party democracy. Challenges of multi-party democracy include the encouragement of ethnicity, as most parties are tribal, lack of party funding, and tension that led to ethnic clashes in 1992. Also observed were defection and bribery, and the KANU government's control over state corporations like radio and television. Further challenges include leadership problems causing party breakups, government harassment, and a lack of public knowledge about multi-party democracy, leading people to follow tribal leaders blindly. International interference in the country's running and voter bribery due to poverty are also issues. Political parties play a crucial role in nation building by offering managerial approaches and alternative solutions. They are involved in political decision-making, sell alternative ideas, and work for the repeal of unjust rules like the Chiefs Act. They have also led to the establishment of independent trade unions and better performance of government institutions. The role of political parties also includes improving health services, ensuring the independence of the judiciary, and acting as a government watchdog. They mobilize people for participation in the democratic process, ensure proper use of public funds through committees like the PAC, and provide civic education. Focusing on economic development, land policies were crucial. In 1963, the Ministry of Land and Settlement was created to establish settlement schemes. Land policies were formulated to solve the land crisis and enhance economic independence. This involved transferring land from Europeans to Africans and land consolidation. The government established high and low-density settlement schemes to facilitate land transfer. The Agricultural Development Corporation, ADC, was set up to manage large-scale farming. Other initiatives included establishing research stations to promote agriculture and providing loans to Africans for land and farm inputs. There was also a diversification of agriculture and the establishment of the Kenya Tea Development Authority, KTDA. Irrigation schemes were established to boost agricultural production. Development authorities like the Tana and Athi River Development Authority, TTADA, and the Lake Basin Development Authority, LBDA, were created for proper resource utilization. In 1981, the Permanent Presidential Commission on Soil Conservation and Afforestation was established, along with cooperative societies for farmers. The government provided loans for land purchase and farm inputs, encouraging agricultural diversification. The Kenya Tea Development Authority, KTDA, and Nyayo tea zones were set up for tea. Irrigation schemes were established. Development authorities like TADA and LBDA coordinated resource utilization, and cooperative societies helped farmers. Kenya's land policies are guided by principles to ensure land is used and managed equitably, efficiently, productively, and sustainably. Key principles include equitable access to land, security of land rights, and sustainable and productive management of land resources. Other principles include transparent and cost-effective land administration, sound conservation, and protection of ecologically sensitive areas. The policies aim for the elimination of gender discrimination in land-related laws and customs, and the encouragement of communities to settle land disputes locally. All land in Kenya belongs collectively to the people, as a nation, as communities, and as individuals. Land in Kenya is classified into 3 categories: public, community, and private. Public land includes land lawfully held or used by any state organ, land transferred to the state, land with no identifiable ownership, all minerals and mineral oils, and government-protected areas like forests, game reserves, and national parks. Public land also encompasses all roads, rivers, lakes, and other water bodies defined by an act of parliament. This includes the territorial sea, the exclusive economic zone, the seabed, the continental shelf, and all land between high and low watermarks. Certain public land, such as unalienated government land, land held by a state organ, or unclaimed land, is vested in and held by a county government in trust for the residents, administered by the National Land Commission. Public land vested in and held by the national government includes all minerals and mineral oils, government forests and game reserves, water catchment areas, national parks, and all roads and water bodies defined by law. This category also includes the territorial sea, the exclusive economic zone, the seabed, the continental shelf, and all land between high and low watermarks. Public land cannot be disposed of or used, except as specified by an act of parliament. Community land vests in and is held by communities based on ethnicity, culture, or similar interests. It includes land registered in the name of group representatives, land transferred to a specific community, and any other land declared as community land by Parliament. Unregistered community land is held in trust by county governments on behalf of the communities. Community land cannot be disposed of or used except under legislation that specifies the nature and extent of the rights of its members, individually and collectively. Private land consists of registered land held under freehold or leasehold tenure. It also includes any other land declared private land under an act of parliament. Non-citizens may only hold land under a leasehold tenure, not exceeding 99 years. Any agreement that attempts to confer a greater interest on a non-citizen is regarded as conferring only a 99-year leasehold interest. A body corporate is considered a citizen only if it is wholly owned by citizens. Property held in trust is considered held by a citizen only if all beneficial interests belong to citizens. Parliament may enact further legislation on this matter. The state can regulate the use of any land in the interest of defense, public safety, public order, public morality, public health, or land use planning. Legislation must be enacted to ensure property investments benefit local communities and their economies. The National Land Commission manages public land for national and county governments, recommends national land policy, and advises on land title registration. It also conducts research and makes recommendations on land and natural resource use. The Commission investigates land injustices, encourages traditional dispute resolution, assesses land tax and premiums, and monitors land use planning nationwide. Parliament is mandated to revise and consolidate land laws and revise sectoral land use laws according to policy principles. It must also enact legislation to prescribe minimum and maximum private landholdings and regulate land conversion between categories. Legislation also needs to regulate matrimonial property, protect and provide access to public land, enable the review of public land grants, and protect the dependents of deceased persons holding land interests. Challenges facing land policies include high population growth leading to land fragmentation and unreliable climatic conditions causing drought and famine. Low agricultural commodity prices and high input costs, along with corruption like land grabbing, are also major hurdles. Other challenges include the impact of the HIV/AIDS pandemic on the agricultural workforce, ethnic clashes, low levels of technology, crop destruction by pests, and poor transport networks. Inadequate funds for land demarcation and the unresolved squatter problem are also significant issues. Since independence, the government has promoted the cooperative movement, creating a Ministry of Cooperatives in 1963. The Cooperative Bank was established in 1968, and a cooperative training college exists at Langata.